Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today we're doing another roundup and ranking. I already shared the lip product version of this video, and today we're going to focus on blush. This was a fantastic blush year for me. I absolutely love blush in all of its forms. Liquid blush, powder blush. These are some of my favorite items. Other than eyeshadow palettes, I would say blush is probably a close second, maybe tied with lip balm. I'm a simple woman, okay? I see blush, I'm interested. For me, a good blush is an absolute staple. I will choose it over bronzer, contour, even highlighter. A good blush will carry a whole makeup look for me. I did in-depth reviews for quite a few great blush products this year. I want to give an overview and just pull out my favorite shades from each one of these blush formulas. We're going to do a comprehensive ranking. I'm going to show you close-ups, swatches, and just a brief little overview of each one. Of course, I didn't try every single new blush that came out this year. I think that would be impossible, at least for me. But I tried a lot, and as I test and review products throughout the year, some things can shift. I may really like something initially, and then it gets lost in the sauce throughout the year, or vice versa. I may just sort of like something at first, and the more I use it, my love for it and dedication to it may grow. So that's why I want to take a look back at all of these products now that we are at the end of 2024. So I'm going to take you through that process today. I'm going to switch to an overhead view with the camera, and I'm going to talk through my process as I rank these. That way you can go on this blush ranking journey with me. So first things first, let's pull all of the blushes that I reviewed this year and we'll get to ranking. I'm going to start my blush ranking the same way I started my lip product ranking. I'm just going to take out my favorite shade of each one of the formulas I'm ranking today. And I do have these 3 cheek palettes as well. So obviously there's no favorite shade from that one. It's just an entire palette. But I have 6 regular powder blushes, and then I have 5 cream or liquid product blushes, and then the 3 cheek palettes. So I have 14 blush formulas in total that I'm going to be ranking today. And the first thing that I always do, for me personally, what works the best when I'm ranking is I go back and take a look at anything that I just want to be reminded of, especially things like these blush palettes. I really want to take a look at them first and foremost before I start ranking, and take a peek inside a couple of other compacts that I just really want to refresh my brain on, get them out of the packaging, just sort myself out, reorient myself, and then I'll start to sort these into 2 or 3 different sections. For my lip product video, I just did the top half and the bottom half. For the blushes, I'm going to do what I usually do with eyeshadow palette rankings, which is where I split them into least favorite, middle of the pack, and then top favorite. In my mind, this sorting into top, middle, and bottom is very similar to writing an outline before you get into a whole research paper. This is my outline, and then I will use these sections to really get down into the formulas, the colors available, the textures, the packaging, things like that. But doing a rough sort first helps me to do a more refined ranking without spinning my wheels for too long. And much like my lip ranking, I do really only have one definitive, I didn't enjoy this cheek product of the year. I tried my best to give it a shot, and I will admit that it's one of the newer things added to my collection. So maybe it's unfair to say it's really the only blush I didn't like this year, but I am talking about the What's Up Beauty Cheek Terre blushes. I wanted to like this. There's also a bronzer line that came out, sort of the sister to this blush line, and I preferred the bronzers. These blushes just don't really show up too much on me, and I just had a hard time being excited about using them, even though they're marbled and pretty and all that stuff and clever name. It was the only one that was really lackluster for me. In 13th place, I have the Odin's Eye blushers. These are from the Shadow and Light collection. And I actually like the formula. These are really soft, they're quite pigmented. It's just, for me personally, they're a little bit too matte. You'll notice that most of the matte things are going to fall lower on my ranking. And I just didn't love the colors that were available. Now, from here on, these are all things that I quite like. I really, really love this highlighter called Athena. It's definitely one of my favorite highlighters of the year, but these just aren't colors for blush that I typically gravitate towards. Like I said, I don't really love mattes, and I definitely don't love a lot of pink blushes. Not that you won't see me use them, not that you won't see some appear in this ranking, but in general, it's just not the most flattering color for me. And you'll also notice that cheek palettes, and particularly all blush palettes, are not going to rank that high for me just because it's not a product that I tend to use a lot. I am much more likely to go for individual products. So all of the blush and cheek palettes are going to be more towards that bottom half. Again, another product that I actually really like. I guess there's an argument that this is more of a highlighter palette, but I did want to include it because I definitely use it as more of a blush topper. So this one's sort of in a no man's land, I guess, but I do really enjoy the Celestial Lights palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. I actually like to use it more as an eyeshadow palette than as a cheek palette, which is another part of what makes me want to put this in the lower half of the list. As a blush, as a cheek product, it's not super great for me. But I do enjoy a little bit of sparkle on the cheeks as a blush topper, and I really, really like these on the eyes. This super shimmery, sparkly, shifty formula is quite beautiful. It's just not what I personally want on my cheeks. Not my style, and I don't think that it's particularly flattering on me to do the really, really sparkly, like glitter cheeks. I love a shimmer, I love a satin, I love a glow, but I don't really love a sparkle on the cheeks for myself. This Unearthly Spring Magic cheek palette is the highest ranking palette that you're going to see in this particular blush video. I think that these shades are beautiful. I really like this more glowy type of shine in a blush. Not only do I think the formula is quite beautiful and very blendable and pigmented and impressive, but I also think that these colors are pretty unique, and I think that they do a good job of covering a wide range of different styles and different skin tones, which I really appreciate. But again, it's just not the type of thing that I personally am going to want to grab all the time. If I go for a face palette, I want something that has more than one type of product in it. You know, I want a bronzer, I want a setting powder, I want a highlighter, that type of stuff too. These are the middle of the road blushes. All of these got good reviews from me. And frankly, I think, like I said, it was just a really good makeup year. It was a really good blush year. And these are all high quality products. I mean, look, the middle of the road moniker here, don't let that fool you. These are all very lovely, well used, and beloved products. I would say the big difference between this middle section and the things in the top portion of my blushes are not performance. It's not that those are so much better and these are not good. It's nothing like that. It simply boils down to my preference. And you're going to notice you haven't seen a single cream or liquid blush in the bottom or the middle. So it's just because I do tend to prefer cream cheek products over powder cheek products. And if you are somebody who prefers powder cheek products, then these middle of the road, quote unquote, I feel like that's not a good enough way to put it. This middle section is truly filled with really good, high performing, wonderful blushes that I highly recommend, particularly this CoverGirl True Blend So Flushed blush. The pigmentation is so impressive. The colors are really beautiful. I particularly love this bright reddish berry color. I can just see it being flattering on so many people. And I think that these are very good, very impressive. And if we had seen maybe a couple less liquid or cream cheek products this year, you probably would have seen these ninth, eighth, and seventh place powder blushes making their way easily into the top five. However, I am so happy to report that my year was dominated by so many great cream and liquid blushes. I do have dry skin, so I find that cream and liquid products tend to be more flattering on me, especially throughout the day. I like to layer and mix my cream products, and I'll often put a little powder blush or blush topper over them. So I just really enjoy the texture, the versatility, and the casual sweatiness that I get from these cream products. The e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blushes are one of my very early in the year product reviews, and definitely one that remained relevant in my makeup collection through the entirety of 2024. This particular formula has great staying power, not only in a daily wear type of situation, but in my brain. It was not something that I would forget about and push to the back of my vanity drawer. I kept going back to these, and I just love how accessible of a price point they are. When I'm reviewing, that definitely is at least somewhat of a factor for me. I like to be able to recommend products that I think not only are good, but are great for the price and are going to be more accessible or more attainable for the people who are taking my recommendations. That's another reason why so many ColourPop products perform well for me. Also, I mean, this is just a cute little heart packaging. I love the lip and cheek balm aspect. ColourPop gave us several new cream and liquid cheek products this year, and I think that this lip and cheek balm is definitely one of their best, by far one of the cutest, but I think this is just so user friendly. It has a lot of product versatility since you can wear it on your lips as well. I actually had a hard time choosing which color I wanted to feature in this video because I have a couple that are constantly on rotation on my little makeup table. So just an FYI, I also use the shade Second Date a lot in this formula. Next, we have the only powder blush to crack into that top tier, and that's the Evocative Silk Blush from Singe Beauty. There are four different shades in this formula, at least for now. Hopefully, we get some more because I think these are so beautiful. They are silky, satiny, they have a little bit of glow, but not too over the top. They don't look greasy, they don't look sparkly. And this particular formula, I love to layer on top of a liquid blush for a little bit of that glowy, almost blush lighter type of look. And this is also one of the few true pink blush shades that I have ever really fallen hard in love with. The tone of the pink, the texture of this blush, it's all just right for me. And it's really saying something if I put a pink blush so high up in the ranking. Next, we have this Dewy Bar from Kaja. This is another product that I could not let go of. I keep going back to this, particularly in this shade Fig Smoothie. This is such a gorgeous, neutral, plummy rose type of color. It's not quite plum, it's not quite pink, it's not quite a neutral. It's just somewhere in between, and I love that. I also find this packaging to be really unique and very travel friendly, very user friendly. This cheek color lasts for a long time on my face, and blush is usually one of the first things that disappears throughout the day on me. So I'm very impressed in general by the staying power that these particular cream and liquid blushes had to offer to me in 2024. This ColourPop liquid blush is another one that I really struggled to choose a shade because there are probably three of these that are in constant rotation. And anytime I've traveled since this liquid blush came out, I've always taken at least one of them with me because I put one in my travel makeup bag that I carry in my like airplane carry-on or that I toss in the car if I'm going on a road trip. Because this formula is so incredibly reliable, so easy to blend and apply, I just know that I'm going to have an easy time with it. So I basically never leave home without it. However, the absolute best blush of the year for me, no surprise, is the blush filter from Huda Beauty. We recently got two new shades, and this one, Latte, is my favorite. I have worn this almost every day that I've worn makeup since I got this. I struggle to make myself use anything else. When the blush filter line originally dropped, loved them, gave it rave reviews. I was really, really hoping that we would get more colors. And then for holiday, I got my wish. So here's me putting that out into the universe again. We need even more blush filter colors. Let me just put that on YouTube now so that maybe we can manifest more blush filter shades in 2025. Just a quick reminder, I do have dedicated swatch and review videos with application demos and all of that stuff for pretty much all of these products. So make sure you check the description box to see the shade names that I swatched here today in this video, and also check out the relevant related videos so that you can learn more about any of these formulas that intrigued you, or you're just curious and you want to know more about what I think. I think this ranking was even more difficult than the lip product ranking that I just posted earlier this week. Make sure you go check that one out and stay tuned because the best products of the year and the best palettes of the year are coming up next. Those were really, really difficult. I had a tough time narrowing down my favorites, especially for the best products of the year. The palette ranking's always overwhelming, but the best products of the year was particularly tough for 2024 because I just feel like so many top-notch formulas came out this year. I would love to hear what your favorite blushes for this year were. Do we have any of the same top picks? Maybe there's something that I didn't review this year that you think I would really enjoy. And I love getting those recommendations. So please make sure you leave all your thoughts and all your favorites down in the comments below so that we can try them out too. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Okay, these earrings are so jingly. It's really fun. Not too jingly, just a little jingle. Do I need more lip balm? No. Do I want more lip balm? Yes. I love these. I don't usually wear super long danglies, but these are the exception. I just love them. They're so fun. All right, focus on the video. Where was I? Ah, so glowy, so sparkly, so casually sweaty. Love that for me. My brain's shutting down. I think I need to take a break for lunch because I need to power this thing up. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot. Mm-mm-mm. How's everybody hanging in there? The holidays can be tough. Even in the best of times, it can be a little bit stressful and overwhelming. And in the worst of times, it can be a lot stressful and overwhelming. So I hope everybody's coping well. I hope that you find some way to give yourself a little rest, a little relaxation. You deserve it. You deserve that all the time, but especially now. Make sure you stay tuned for more of my best of because it was a good makeup year. That's what I can say about 2024. It was a good makeup year. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. You're cool. That's all. Love your face. See you soon. Bye.